There we go. Can you hear me? Yes, right? Okay, cool. Is it loud enough? It looks a little bit quiet. 1 second, let me check this. Oh, that's the wrong one. Wrong button. One moment, sorry for that. Sound settings. Speakers. Okay, we can get higher here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a little bit too much. There we go. Okay, hello my friends. How are you doing? Time for another live stream. And you can submit your art. I pinned the link to the top. And before we do that, I have a weekly, I have a daily AI art challenge on my Discord. So if you want to, you can join my Discord, be part of that daily challenge. And because I didn't do the review of the images last week and I haven't done it this week, I'm going to do them right now in this video, so you can check that out. I think that's kind of a good idea. And then afterwards we look at your images. So it's 14 images basically that we are looking at first. But first let's do some, let's greet some people. By the way, I should maybe put my chat here in the middle for a moment. And this time I have set my streaming screen to 1080 so that you basically see everything that I see and I can make the images full screen. I think that's a little bit easier. Hi Dota2, thanks for joining. Hi Dimson, thanks for joining. By the way, it will always be cool if you write where you're coming from. That would be really nice to know that, like the city or the country, whatever feels better to you. Hi Yusol, thanks for joining. Hi Peachy. Hi Triple Head Monkey, thanks for joining again. Really nice, one of the moderators on my Discord. Hi Otto, thanks for joining. Hi Chip. Chip says, I think you should create some more images that aren't not safe for work, so I can actually post them here. What? I think I should create some. Oh yes, you should create some images that are safe for work. Yes, that makes sense. Hi Calvin, thanks for joining. Hi Itusta, thanks for joining. Hi Gary. Hi Elihu. And I'm so bad with reading names. Sorry for that. It's loud enough. Okay, that's cool. Magi Mister, thanks for joining again. Very nice to see you back here. Asa Cial, thanks for joining. Jen, thanks for joining. And Karu Sam. Oh, I already had that. Okay. Itusa, I think already also had. Okay, cool. Anyways, I think we have everybody so far. All right, so let me find the images real quick. I think we can. Yeah, okay, there's already 5. So let me open this real quick as a Google Doc sheet. So we have the links. That looks good. Okay, so that's done. I can close this stuff here and then let me open up the images real quick so we can get started with that. Can actually put this here. All right. Why is, oh, there's the full screen button. Okay, cool. Okay, let me switch real quick. So there you go. Now we have it full screen. I will do this in the future when we review art and when we have like videos and stuff we want to show, so you can actually see it full screen rather than with the bars on the side. I think that makes a lot of sense. So this is from the Monday, like the week before this week. Transformation into painting. True Burn is the user that created that. Looks really amazing. Very nice. This kind of like fading effect into dust or something. Dissolving effect. That was pretty popular also with photo editing. And I think still is. It's still a popular thing. I actually think I made a video about that effect in the past when I still did photography tutorials. But the overall image looks very nice. Also good composition. It has a little bit of this kind of sci-fi, a little bit horror kind of thing. Maybe from the Marvel universe, right? Where they turn into dust. A little bit. All right. Anyways. Here we have, I can't go to the next picture. 1 second. Oh yeah, I can. Good. Here we have Batman chilling out. The hero on vacation from Shahulk. There we go. Very nice with a whiskey on the rocks in a pretty strange glass, but why not? And he keeps, of course, he keeps his Batman outfit on his vacation. Why not? Maybe it's a hero vacation where they are all meeting up together or something like that. So that looks pretty cool. And yeah, pretty nice. I actually like these more gritty and darker hero shows we have now, like The Boys or things like that, that make it more questionable, the role of a hero. Like, not just like the dark Batman like it was in the past, where he has some troubles, blah blah, but actually like heroes who are actually bad guys in real life, you know. And that's kind of like interesting to abuse this enormous power. I think the show The Boys does it the best, especially because they are very, how can I say, very direct about the things that they do. And I heard like the last season was a lot of parallel to the development in the US politically, with all this kind of like move to the right and the media manipulation, things like that, from these like smaller podcasters and stuff like that. So that was pretty interesting to have that kind of like perspective also in there. Yeah, interesting. Anyways, let's go to the next image. Also, let's look at the chat. Stefan is from Germany. Hi, I'm actually from Germany too. I'm near Nuremberg. I was born there, but now I live in Vienna. Have been here for the last 20 years. And me Siegless says, hello, thanks for your tutorial on Forge UI. Got me back into creating art. That's very nice, pretty cool. Yeah. Some people told me that Forge UI doesn't support all of the plugins. I should have asked that before in the community if there's like any problems. So maybe keep your automatic 1111 still on your drive and use both at the same time, because there might be some plugins that are not running on Forge or not as good on Forge, and then they run on automatic 1111. But yeah, whatever works for you is a good thing. And this is less complicated for people who just want to create. This is better than Conf UI, because you just want to be in the flow of creation rather than tinkering on a workflow. The suit does not look very comfortable. I don't think it is. I don't think any of these like combat suits are comfortable normally, right? There we have the last day of Pompeii in a parallel universe. I'm a huge fan of parallel universe stories. Here you have these kind of like insect-looking creatures, things like that, you know. And I like these kind of theories about like how would our society be if we came from another species, you know, because mankind is rather competitive. We have it in our nature that we fight over things rather than working together. That's just part of the way we function, basically. And it's very difficult to get out of that. We like ownership. We like to battle over ownership, things like that. But what if it was a different kind of like species that is much nicer, doesn't have that? Maybe a species that is more about cooperation, things like that, in the main thing, where they don't even think about, oh, I own something. I think more about I share something. Could be. Who knows? I don't know. The little aliens. Yeah, I actually have a bigger version of that, so you can see the details. I love the high resolution small details in the newer models like Flux. Very nice that you can zoom in like that and get these details, and also more precision. It's really interesting when you look at the older models like 1.5 and compare them. 1.5 still, to be honest, are my favorite models, but you see the lower quality when you compare them directly to what Flux can do. Although I think that Flux is not yet as good as doing specific things or specific styles like 1.5 is, but it can be more exact, and the details look better, and the lighting, it feels more real. It feels more like you can actually grip it, you know what I mean? So yeah, there we go. This is from Paleopteryx, by the way. Oh, pretty cool dinosaur name. There we go. All right. This one is a nice one where we have a combination of fantasy and real world. Also very nice. I would like to see more shows like that, to be honest. This kind of like mix of... it was very nice. Like it was, but I don't think in Harry Potter that they used it enough. You know, this kind of like mix between the real world that was always just like a background to the actual fantasy world, but you don't see much of an interaction, you know, between these two worlds. So there would be, I think there would be kind of like more potential about that. What is that? What is that movie where there is this kind of famous actor who like has this kind of strange speech pattern, and the movie is called Inside of John Malkovich, Inside of John Malkovich. That is kind of that kind of movie where like a strange world, not directly a fantasy world, but a strange kind of world is connected with the real world and has effects basically on both of them, and that's kind of nice, this kind of thing. Usal says a species that focuses more on cooperation instead of conflict. I can only imagine bug species like humanoid ants or bees. Maybe, I don't know. More like bees, as even ants will join in conflict. Yeah, I think most species are territorial and focus on like competition, at least over their territory. And it's also interesting that most species don't have a limitation. So if you wouldn't hold ants back or bees back or whatever, they would like invade every space they could get into. Of course, like these kind of insects are more limited than we are because we basically can go everywhere, but they wouldn't limit themselves because that's just their instinct. And the only limitation they have is when they have competitors or they have enemies who eat them, and this is how they get limited by that. But otherwise, they would just make one beehive after the next beehive, thousands of them. By the way, if you're ever in Australia and you go in the outback, there's actually a train. By the way, we can go to another close-up. There's a train. It's called the Ghan, and the Ghan goes completely from the most northern city to the southern city through the outback, thousands of kilometers, and it takes 2 days to travel that with the train. And when you look out, you see these ant towers. Is it ants? I think it's ants, right? Or termites? Is it termites or ants? I'm not quite sure right now. But when you see that in a video, you only see like 1 or 2 standing there, really big, some moderator from the TV talking about it, blah blah blah. But when you see it in real life, there is thousands upon thousands. They have like a little bit of a gap in between, maybe like 20 meters or 50 meters or something, and then there's the next one. It's like hundreds and thousands in the outback. Not all over the outback and not only in certain areas, but it's crazy. So it's not like they are like rare animals or something. All right, there we go. Oh, by the way, I didn't say the name. This is from Boy7. Pretty cool, very nice image. There we go. I kind of am always surprised why AI, if there is more detail, does less of a good job, because basically what it does is resolving noise into an image. So why is it like if the image details are finer, it like can't resolve all of it into these details? If you look at the faces, they don't look so good in the background, and you would have to go with a face detailer through all of these faces individually, basically. But you can, it's fixable. Okay, there we have the next one. Termites. Oh yeah, termites. Okay, there we go. To prompt background and foreground separately. Oh, I said I post that on my Patreon, right? Did I say that? Is that for the Patreon, the foreground and background separately? Didn't I post it already? I kind of feel like I made a pack with like 3 different workflows, and one of them is that. Did I not do that? I will check that out and then post it as soon as possible. Maybe tomorrow, maybe a little bit later. Most models will also improve details if you describe the content more than it's lacking detail. Oh, okay, interesting. So here we have something that looks more like abstract art. Pretty interesting. And it's kind of like, I'm not quite sure what it is, like a bridge or something. Conceptual paradoxes from Kupofigert. Kupofigert? Is that how you pronounce that? Not quite sure. It looks like a classic painting from the modern art era. A little bit of like other dimension here on this right white arc that is going up that looks like it's kind of like a different planet or something. Very cool though. Very nice. This one is cool. Yeah, it's pretty nice, right? Pretty interesting. By the way, I was at the weekend. I was, and also last week, I was several times on a retrospective from the photographer Gregory Crutzen, who is one of my favorite art photographers. And the interesting thing is, I didn't even know, like, he has a cameraman who I think, if I remember correctly, does the camera work for films like Star Wars. Not quite sure. I think it was Star Wars. So he doesn't actually take the photos himself. He's more the director, organizing everything. And it is really interesting to see how much work goes into these images. Like often he built the complete stage to like have the inside of a house, but looking like a normal house that you would photograph inside, but of course orchestrated specifically how he wants it. And then the light is not actually like the real light would be. So he adjusts the light in several pictures that he combines afterwards to give a specific impression, guide your eye to different things, bring different emotional stages into the image, stuff like that. Another interesting detail is that he is like changing, if you have a mirror, the image in the mirror is not actually what you would see. He photographs a different reflection and then puts it in there so that you see what he wants you to see in the reflection of the mirror, like a slightly different perspective of the real thing. All these kind of details, like really interesting how much thought and planning and concept goes into actual like artistic work, right? And they also do that with movies, but often you don't see it in movies because then they like dumb it down to a popcorn movie so more people buy a ticket. But when you look at the making of, I feel sometimes the making of is better than the movie. Because they just talk about how much work they put into planning and like creating everything, you know. Okay, here we have the next one. The Day the Star Fell by Enraged Antelope. There we go. Really nice. I love also these kind of end of world scenarios, especially if it's kind of like sci-fi kind of a thing. And this kind of stuff where like I don't know, a planet is hitting the Earth or the sun is exploding or stuff like that. These kind of like catastrophic extinction events. That's always, for some reason, really interesting. I don't know. Do you like that too, these kind of videos? A says, I'm so sick of people attacking my small business for using AI for background and stock images, most of which I have licensed from Adobe. So really? They're attacking that? Why can't people just accept this in the future? It's really strange. Interesting. I mean, the people who attack you, are they also your customers or not? Because if they're not your customers and if they don't destroy your Google rating, doesn't actually matter, right? If they don't spend money anyways, then who cares, right? Sometimes, you know, I don't know if you have this kind of like moment, but sometimes I see something, a video about a company, and I'm like, they are so evil, I will never buy from them again. And then I think about it, wait a second, I never bought anything from them to begin with, so it doesn't really matter. I don't have a say in that because I haven't been a customer. It's just enraging. I would say, but I can't do anything about it. So yeah, kind of strange. Pick on tiny businesses. Well, because, I don't know, internet trolls, this is where they get their kind of power from, these kind of, how do you say, like armchair warriors, you know, big mouth at home, and then if you meet them in real life, they're really small and quiet. Anyways, this is a really cool image, very nice. I love the light atmosphere here, very nice. I love also the silhouette of these people who are walking here. And yeah, the whole atmosphere is very, very cool. By the way, I'm always thinking if something like that would happen to me, like a huge tsunami wave where, you know, like in the movies, like 50 meters high, you know you can't run from it. Like, would I instinctively? Probably my instincts would set in and I would still run. But you kind of think when you are on your sofa watching the movie in a relaxed situation, you would think like, nah, I'm just gonna stand there and check out that spectacle of that amazing wave coming in, because there's nothing I can do. But I think in real life it's impossible, because the body will just overwhelm you and you're gonna run like crazy. Anyways, there are a lot of tech Luddites. What are Luddites? I don't even know that word. Against AI, it was here the same thing with photography. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I mean, they just take some time to get accustomed to. There we have the banana hero. They aren't customers. I love AI and AI art. I love human art too. A professional artist. I mean, if they're no customer, who cares? If they don't like destroy your reputation on Google or something else that you need, not a problem. I mean, on the other hand, if it would damage your business in any way, I would suggest to just use other stock images from actual photographers if you buy the stock images anyways, and do the AI stuff in your free time, because basically your business is not extension of who you are. It's the place where you do like services for other people, right? So, you know, I don't put everything that I do in my real life onto my YouTube channel. I just do the AI stuff and then sometimes photography, but I don't really like talk about or do all kinds of stuff that I would be into or that I like, you know what I mean? So maybe if you feel like it's not good for you, you could change that. I don't know. A lunatic is a person opposed to new technology in ways of working. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Anyway, this image here is called New Video Game Hero by Piscaboo. By the way, the topic comes from the daily challenge of the daily challenge on my Discord. It's not that they choose the topic. This is the topic of that day, and then this is the image that was selected. All right, let's go to the next one. This is already from Monday of this week. No, wait a second. This is from Monday of last week, because this is for the video that I should have done this week. So this is from Monday of last week. Sorry. And the other one was from Monday of 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm confused. I don't know. Anyways, we have here Mechanical Animals by True Burn. Very nice. Looks really cool. There we go. With the, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like vintage looking, a little bit like Star Wars looking legs. Pretty nice. Pretty rusty. But yeah, and he has like a vacuum as a trunk. So that's also pretty cool. That's very interesting. Very nice image. It looks like you can sit up there where this is this little roof on his back. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know. Maybe someone is traveling with this kind of elephant. Wouldn't that be cool? Very nice. I had a debate once. I was, Usual says, I had a debate once. I was winning, and then he asked me to give him a list of papers. So I used AI to easily search for them, and he started laughing and instead started attacking me for using AI. I mean, if the list is good and it's actually a real title, why not? I mean, he's using Google, which also uses AI to give you the best results. So, you know, or the image recognition or stuff like that. We are like, for some reason, people seem to think that AI is a new thing, while unknowns to them, they have used AI for years and years. It is not a new thing at all. Like, if you have your fingerprint scanner, your face recognition on your photo, the improvement on your smartphone when you take a picture, all of that is using AI, at least machine learning. Maybe not active AI in your phone, but machine learning to create the process of doing that, you know? So, yeah, that's just what it is. And people don't understand that. Or Google Maps, how do you find the shortest route to a location from your position? A lot of that is helped with machine learning, at least. Okay, let's go to the next image. Very cute. The doggy, but he has, for some reason, a Batman suit on. So is he's a bad dog? He's a good dog, but a bad dog? And we have some bad signs in the back too. Pets as superheroes from K-Struck. There we go. Pretty cool. By the way, the Discord link under my video, does it work for you or not? Because it should be an unlimited link, but some people tell me the link doesn't work. So I'm not quite sure right now if it works or not. Yeah, AI has been there for a long time. The interesting thing with AI is that we stop calling it AI at a certain point and just call it the process it is, sorry. Like, for example, in gaming at the beginning, the pathfinding and the way that the enemies react to you was also called AI. And now we don't do that anymore. We call it pathfinding. And image recognition, we just call image recognition, not AI face detection or stuff like that. You know, we just like, we switch over to call it by the process. And I think with AI, the same thing will happen. I think if you wait a couple of years, people will just say image generation. They're not going to say AI image generation or image AI or video AI. You would just say video generation and that's it. And everybody knows what's meant by that, because there's a difference between video generation and video recording. And there's a difference between taking a photo and generating a photo. So you know already what's meant by it. You don't even have to say AI. Doesn't make any sense. The Discord link works. That's good. That's good to know. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much for checking that out. All right, here we have the next one with the beautiful magic girl. There we go. Magic Rituals and Spells by T-Mode 1960 with some, I don't know, everything is green and we have some green magic too. Maybe she is the, how do you say? What is the female word for a magician? No, not a magician. Who does magic? A wizard. What is the female word for wizard? Is there a word like that? The wiztress. I don't know. I mean, you have witch, but witch is, I think, different than, I don't know. What would be the submissions? Are you still accepting? Yes, I'm still accepting. I'm just doing the review from the daily challenges of my Discord channel, and then we're going to go to review your work. So this is just like the intro part. Then we have the Arctic Adventure. Felis Amefelis Catus has made this. Wow, that's a interesting name. Pretty cool. I love the snowy parts of the world, but not the cold. Like if it would be like nice and warm, like you are experiencing when you sit at home and watch a movie in these icy areas, then it's cool. But being there and like freezing your fingers off, not so nice, not so good. These guys look like Vikings going over the kind of like North Passage. What was it called when they went to America in the north over there? Well, anyways, but they did it, and it was probably extremely cold to do that. Looks like a dryad? What is a dryad? Dryad? Hey, the madman from Thailand. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. I hope I can be back in Thailand sometime soon. Sorceress. That sounds good. Sorceress sounds really good. A druid? Does a druid do magic? Or does a druid, like, he does magic, but he doesn't do magic like with spells or something? I think a druid is more like this kind of nature magic, where he takes different kind of like herbs and stuff and mixes them and then makes like, how do you say, potions and stuff like that, right? But he is not like this kind of magic guy where he does something with his hands and then some stuff happens, right? There we go. Next one, the pizza place run by elves. Ooh, I could go for a pizza right now. Also from Unranged Antelope. By the way, the last one, oh, we read that name. That was a special name. Man, why is pizza so good? Always like, I don't know. There is no time. I think there is not really any time in life where you couldn't go for a pizza, right? Do you feel the same way? Like any moment in life you would be like, yeah, I could eat pizza right now. Maybe not when you're super full, but like any other time, it's kind of like, I don't know, the perfect food. I also like, often I don't understand, why are these kind of foods like pizza bad for you? Of course, there's like olive oil, but then you often read like olive oil is good for you. There's a lot of veggies in there. There's a lot of grain in there. Doesn't grain have fiber? I'm not quite sure right now. But I feel like most of it is like vegetable stuff, and then maybe you have some meat on that. So how is that not healthy? Okay, maybe the cheese is the problem. I don't know, but you know, sometimes I feel like shouldn't that be good food? You know, or a burger. You have veggies, you have meat, you have some like ketchup, which is also a veggie, and then you have some bread, which white bread, okay, maybe not the healthiest choice, but meat and veggies doesn't sound too bad. Why are these not good food groups? You know, kind of, I don't know. The cheese is the bad guy here. Interesting. Maybe there's a version of doing it without too much cheese. Is not bad. It's not bad for you. I think it's bad for you. It has a ton of calories, and I don't know. I don't think if you eat pizza every day, you're gonna be super healthy or something like that. Not sure. I don't know. But the image is pretty cool with the elf with the big ears. Very nice. I wish we had more ear forms in real life, right? Oh, I love cat ears, especially like big cat ears, and they go like this, and the light shines through the cat ears. Oh, I love that with the cats. If the meat and veg are GMO, isn't that like genetically modified? I don't even think that is like that bad, to be honest. It has bad press because of the, I don't know, organizations who want to talk about that. But basically all the food you have is not really natural. It didn't look like that when it came from nature. It looked way worse and it tasted like crap. And then we modified it into something that we eat now. Like bananas or anything like, I don't know, oranges, watermelons, stuff like that. They don't look like that in real life. Even grain doesn't look like that, you know, these like full big what is it, crops of grain where there's a lot of stuff on that and then it tastes good. No, nature didn't have that. We made that over like selective breeding with the plants, you know. So most of the food, when you look it up, that we have, not like that at all. Didn't look anything like that. Even if you don't have gluten intolerance, eating large amounts of gluten every day ruins the lining of your stomach, and I don't think that's true. Gluten is, I don't know. Not sure about that, to be honest. This kind of gluten grace is, I don't know. I don't know. We can actually, well, we can do this after the images. Let's by the way, I didn't even talk about that image. All right, so Magic in the Office by Speech, who is also moderator, very active. She actually does the daily challenges and the selection of the images, so she is on top of all of that. So pretty cool to also see one of her images here. We have a very nicely dressed up magician here, or wizard or whatever, doing some magic on his iMac. Pretty cool. I love the sculpture with this kind of like portal in there. That looks pretty cool. I would love to have more sculptures in real life, but of course they take space, so yeah. But I always liked sculptures a lot. So that looks pretty cool. Very, very nice. He has a lot of this kind of blue stuff with the crystal ball and this kind of like square iPad or whatever that is. So yeah, he seems to love these kind of things and looks really good. Okay. Itself is sharp and causes microcuts. Oh, come on. Get out of here. A molecule that causes cuts? Do you know how small a molecule is? There's no way that it causes cuts. Not a chance. We will check that in a second with ChatGPT. 1 second, because that is like, that sounds crazy. That's like you saying, oh, you stumbled over an atom. It's just like they're very small. I don't think they can cut anything. There we have the time machine. Looks very classic, very cozy with that big leather chair in there. Very nice. Kind of seems to miss a front door, but maybe something can rotate from the sides or something. This is by Just Brains. Very nice, very cool in this kind of laboratory here. And yeah, there we go. Pretty cool. And here we have a close-up, and I think this is actually the last image we have. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. Looks pretty cool. The chair isn't 100% centered. But never mind that. Oh, and by the way, there is no controls inside. But maybe it's like controlled through, you know, remote or something. So that might be time machine. Very cool. Very good. Ask Claude. Do I have a, I have a Claude account. I don't really use it too much, to be honest. Let me see if we have more here. No, that was the last one. Okay, let me switch to the big view real quick to check out. Let me see if we have Claude. Let me check out if we have Claude here. There we have Claude. Okay, cool. Oh yeah. Is gluten bad for you if you are a healthy person with no gluten allergy? And can gluten molecules cut you? That sounds so ridiculous, but okay, we will check it out. Let's see. It would be crazy if it says yes. For healthy people without gluten allergies or sensitivities, gluten is not inherently bad for you if you don't have celiac disease, gluten sensitivity, or wheat allergy. For most people, gluten-containing food can be part of a healthy diet. Whole grain that contains gluten often provide important nutrients like fiber, B vitamin, and minerals. Can gluten molecules cut you? No, gluten molecules cannot cut you. This appears to be a misconception. Gluten is a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. It's simply too small, of course, and soft to cause any physical damage for your body. Gluten proteins don't have any sharp edges or cutting properties, which, of course, it's a protein, you know, it's like a molecule, it's like super small. What do you think it can cut, you know? And you can't cut things off like an atom or something, because if it was that easy, you would just like split atoms with a knife. We don't do that because it takes incredibly amounts of power to cut anything away from these small, very small things in the universe. Not a specialist about that, but I know that molecules are too small to cut something. Anyways, the idea of gluten can cut your intestines likely stems from a misunderstanding of how celiac disease affects the body. In people with celiac disease, gluten triggers an immune response that damages the small intestine lining. This damage is not caused by gluten physically cutting anything, rather the body's own immune system reacting to the presence of the gluten. There you go. And this also only happens if you have this kind of disease or allergy where your body attacks your own body. It has nothing to do with the gluten itself, you know, other than if you're allergic to it, it's kind of starts that reaction process of your body. Yeah, but if an allergy is usually that your body fights against your own body. It's not that the thing is harming you, that you are consuming. Anyways, let me check out the links real quick for the images. Oh, wow. Okay, Ghostbat has like submitted 1 million images. This one doesn't even work. The Vimeo link doesn't work. Sorry for that. Crunchy Pack Pipe. So I will just ignore most of these links. Let's take the first one. That looks pretty cool. And then we have this link here. 1 second, I just need to like check out if there is any kind of stuff I can't show on here. And there we have, oh, hey, I have become a fan of Warhammer. Not the game, but the stories, the books, and the video games. Okay, so I'm gonna put a marker down here. So we have already done this. And now we can check out the images. 1 second. The first one is by search. There we have it. 1 second. There you go. Can I make this any bigger? Oh, this I can't do full screen because, of course, images don't have a full screen button. I was wrong. It was lecithin in beans I was actually thinking of. Yeah, but no molecule is like big enough to cut anything in your body. So I don't think that's, you know. It might be if there is some bigger things in some plants, they have like spikes inside or stuff like that that start to cut your like tongue, or it has some acid in it that might attack your body, but a molecule is too small to cut anything. Okay, so this is the first image. Beautiful woman here, or a girl, I'm not quite sure. She looks rather young. Very long neck though, so a little bit of an anatomic problem. But yeah, very nice image. Interesting perspective from the lower side upwards. Pretty nice. But if you think about that perspective, the body works even less unless she's like really bent forwards, because like the head should be even smaller compared to the rest of the body, because the body is way closer to the camera, like with the buildings that go like this, like a pyramid, but the body is basically going the other way with a thin, how do you say, thin hips and a really big head. So perspective wise doesn't really work, but that's okay. AI has really problems with perspectives, but that's a pretty cool image regardless. So that's very, very nice. Okay, the next image is by Chip. There we have it, the good old, and I still have to play that game. Man, what's his name again? Kratos. Kratos. Does it say Kratos here? Oh, it says Kratos. From God of War. Yes, the God of War game, which is also out for PC. The one version with his son. I really want to play that, but I haven't yet. But against my better judgment, I got back into a subscription for Xbox, for the Xbox Game Pass, because I love to check out different games and like especially indie games. What is that deep something? The Deep Still Wakes or something like that. I finished that yesterday. So that is a very short game, like 4 or 5 hours, not that long. And wait, let me check this real quick. 1 second. The deep. Still Wakes the Deep. There we go. Still Wakes the Deep. You also have that on Steam if you want to, but of course, if you have the Game Pass, it's included. And by the way, you can buy keys for the Game Pass, which I always do. Not sure if this is the best thing to say, but I think it's legal to go to these key pages and buy the stuff there. And then you pay like $6 or $7 per month, and you see that this game already costs like $35 per month. So $35 to keep it, but I don't play video games more than once usually. So this is already like half a year of Xbox Game Pass, and the game is very, very nice. It's like a horror game. It's kind of like a mild horror. It's more like a movie. You walk around, but it's very. The levels are all very, very linear. You don't really have choices. It's not Alien Isolation or anything like that. But can I make this bigger? Yeah. The story of the game is really cool. I don't think I'm spoiling anything here because these are the advertisement images. So, or maybe I do a little bit, but yeah, it's like The Thing, but on a oil rig. Pretty cool, very nice, very short. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It has a beautiful ending. So yeah, I would highly suggest you check that out with the Game Pass. Anyway, it's a cosmic horror. Yeah, Lovecraftian game. It could have been a little bit more Lovecraftian, to be honest. I didn't feel that. How can I say? When you read Lovecraftian novels, you feel like all hope is lost. This kind of like, I don't know, it's like, it feels like everything is so dry and sucked out of life, you know what I mean? You get really that kind of feeling that something like is missing, something really important is missing, which he is like really good at doing that in his novel. In the game, it was not too bad, but it could have been like a little bit more dire, you know? I think the Irish, they speak like all with an Irish dialect that made it a little bit funny, and that maybe made it a little bit less like dire. But anyways, if you want to check it out, pretty cool video game. Okay, Let's go to the next image, which is this one with the time and the key. From Cartucci. There we go, Cartucci. Very nice. It's a little bit like a memento mori or something. A little bit like, oh, your time is running out kind of thing. And looks very nice with the... I feel like it's a dried rose. Is it a fresh rose or a dried rose? It kind of looks dried to me. And then you have this kind of like big, thick key down there. Very nice. Do you do this weekly? Basically, yeah. I do this on Sundays. Sometimes we play around with AI tools, which I should basically do more. But I should actually stream maybe 2 times a week. Not quite sure. Maybe I pick up like streaming on Wednesday, you know. But yeah, this kind of review I do more often. So that's very nice. Beautiful image, beautiful details also with this classic watch and things like that. I kind of feel like in the like these older things, because they are this kind of like handmade quality, and they have a little bit more roughness to it. They have a little bit more worldliness about them, you know. They are a little bit, you know, more... They are more formed by culture rather than by necessity. I think a lot of stuff today, I mean, also for cultural reasons, to be honest. So it's not like you could say the stuff we have today looks like that because it has no culture or avoids culture and it's just about purpose. That's not really the case, but it goes a little bit too much in this kind of like minimalism abstract area where it's say, yeah, but let's bring back a little bit of decoration in some parts. Why not? You know? Do you actually see my screen? Yes, you do. And a little bit more playfulness about things, you know? Rather than having everything so functional. Like the phones and everything is like, there's nothing to look at. They all look like a brick and that's it. Anyways, or a monolith. We basically, aren't we like in this like Stanley Kubrick 2001 kind of life where we are praying to the monolith? We're carrying around little monoliths that we pray to by watching stupid short videos day in and day out. This is from apparently Dim Sons. Let's check it out. Oh yeah. Also, the last one was from Crunchy Bagpipe. Oh no, that it was not from Crunchy Bagpipe because it was the video link that doesn't work. Okay, so this is something on Facebook. By the way, if you didn't know that, let me switch real quick. 1 second. Nope, that's not my group. This is my group, and this is a private message. We don't want to show that. I have, and that might surprise you. I have a Facebook group with 318,000 members. Actually overtook my channel subscriptions about AI art, AI revolution, mostly AI image generation, but you can also post videos. The big thing here is no like sexualization of women, no religion, no politics. And no like posting from other pages. So you have to upload it to the group or you can't post. And this is why we have some pretty good content here in a very nice community, because a lot of other communities you have on Facebook, they allow reposting and it's just a content dump and nobody cares and nobody looks at the stuff. While here we still have a lot of like interaction and comments and stuff like that. Not on every image, but you can see like this image here, a collection of 18 images. That's a little bit much. Has 79 likes and then also a bunch of comments. Only 6 comments, but anyways, 79 likes is pretty nice. So yeah, and it reached 3,300 people, so that's also pretty good. Yeah, and it's called AI Revolution on Midjourney. You have to, you have to mark the rules of the group and also answer the 3 questions of the group. This is kind of also a check if you understand what the rules mean, and if not, you're just not getting in, which also makes it a little bit easier, because if you don't if you can't read the rules, you can't apply to the rules, if you know what I mean. Anyways, we have here a very nice, beautiful image of a, I would say, Japanese girl. She could also be Korean, from the face. I would think. Very nice at a train station. Beautiful, like analog look. And yeah. I would think that this is made with Flux, to be honest, because of how, like, it has this kind of real worldliness, and it has these kind of nice colors and contrasts that are working better in Flux than in the models before, which are more, how can I say, more synthetic. They have more of a studio photography vibe rather than a real world vibe of actual, like, either real colors or movie colors that are made to look not real, but let's say artistic and expressive, not this kind of studio cleanliness. Stuckstream says, what a coincidence, I've built bespoke audio tools, I've been deep into it. I did just make a song called Memento Mori. Oh, interesting, pretty cool. Only using AI tools, and it's incredible. To be honest, I wish I was good at remixing music, because I think, like, if you there's really cool songs out there only made with AI, but if I had the ability to, like, remix, or maybe I should just play around with, like, sampling, cutting and sampling it or something like that, that would be really interesting to see what you can do with that, you know, because so many, like, great songs that we have today have remixed and resampled older tracks and made some really cool stuff out of that. I feel like AI has a lot of potential for that, you know, and giving you a lot of material that you can actually sample without any problem, I think. Not quite sure about that legal stuff, but yeah. So this is the one from Ghostbat, who has posted a million links in here, but we're just showing the one here, so everybody gets a chance. We have here, I would say maybe is it a Chinese warrior as a ghost monster, or maybe a Japanese warrior? I'm not quite sure from the looks of it, but it looks pretty cool. This kind of, I love the Asian ghost stories, it's really cool, very nice. Proxy says, I don't think I have Facebook anymore. Yeah, sure. I completely understand that. Facebook is kind of old school. I don't know why they have such a hard time to reinvent themselves. But at the same time, I have to say on Facebook, Facebook has one of the best community organization tools on any social media websites to actually make to orchestrate a community with all these, like I said, with these over 300,000 members, and you can do that. You can make rules. You have an AI that helps you to filter out bad people who shouldn't be in there. You have all these kind of, like, content marking, how do you say, moderation tools, basically, to get out content that shouldn't be in there, stuff like that. So it's very nice, very, very good tools for this kind of thing. And there's still lots and lots of people on Facebook, regardless. Maybe rather from the older generation, like I would say 35 upwards, but that's okay. That's good. There's more than enough people from that community, especially because we are an aging society. Yeah. All right. Do we have some more? Oh, yeah. Oh, this is a video. Look at that. Wow. Very nice. Okay. With runway. There we go. Okay. So there we have a beautiful animation, basically, of a AI photo, which I guess this is why it's on Civet AI. I'm not quite sure. But these kind of, like, architecture, and then you zoom in or out or move the camera a little bit to the side and stuff like that works really well with Runway. Runway is very good at things that are static and then turned into a video. Very good at that. Yeah, so pretty cool. Very nice. Looks amazing. I love also the reflections, although the reflections do not resemble the painting that is above it. So you can see, like, there's a white canvas and then there's a yellow canvas, and they don't have any of these kind of splatter details on there. So it's kind of missing that part. But other than that, pretty cool. Very nice. Beautiful room. I would love to live like that. I think that one on the left side is a real lamp, or pretty close to a real lamp. Actually a pretty expensive lamp too. Anyways. What was that, by the way? This might be, yeah, I think it's this from Ascendant Stoic. No, DT Dota Do. Oh, Dota Do. Hey, you're here in the chat. DT, oh, we are up here. Okay, so next I think, yeah, Ascendant Stoic is the next one, which is this one, where we have that beautiful Warhammer warrior woman. Very nice with the blonde hair. And yeah, I love the armor that she's wearing, and the gun and the shooting looks all very good. Very, very nice. Really cool. And there's another warrior behind her. She's a little bit small with the armor compared to an actual space marine, but maybe, I mean, they have so many different groups. I don't know. A Sister of Battle. Oh, is that a thing? Sister of Battle? Oh yeah, they have these kind of like, are they called Sisters of Battle? Yeah, they have so many groups in there. I have actually, I bought on Humble Bundle this kind of like pack of, it's not on there anymore, sadly, but they sometimes have Warhammer books, and I bought like, I think 30 books or something for 16 bucks. Really nice. Very good. I've read one yet. I've started the second one. Sisters of Battle are shorter than Space Marines. There are also oh yeah, Sisters of Silence. I hear the audiobook about that. That's pretty interesting. Yeah. It's kind of strange how they like mix religion with war. Kind of like you do have that with the Shaolin warriors, and you do have that with the what was it called with the Christians? The in German it's Kreuzzug, but in English it's the Crusade. The Crusade. Although they weren't like monks themselves, they were like just normal warriors, and then had some kind of like religious indoctrination. But anyways, there we go. Let me check out some other links. Well, sorry, I'm getting a little bit. Wait a second. Let me reload this real quick. We don't have any more links, by the way. Just a handful. Interesting. I thought there would be more. No, I don't know why, but your Vimeo links don't work. I have no idea why. Oh, it says this video is not rated. Oh, I have to join Vimeo to watch. Let me check out. Oh yeah, there we go. Ah, there we go. Is that actually AI? Ah, the sound is off. Okay, cool. Is this a slideshow or what? Oh no, it's not a slideshow. Okay, we can watch that. That's good. Wait, let me check if there's any kind of nasty stuff in there. No, everything clean. Okay, good. There we go. There we go. Okay, there we have another one I need to check out. 1 second. Oh, beautiful. Okay, cool. Something, I feel like something is missing here. No. Or? Okay. Oh no, that. Nah, that should be okay. Okay. Or is another link? So don't mass post your links, please. Just like one per person. So far everything is good, and then we go here. Okay, and then I'm gonna show you 1 second. There we go. Okay, so the first one is by Daldrake. There we go. This is this image here. Very nice. Looks pretty cool. Is there? Oh, I can actually move this over. Very nice. It has a little bit of this cyberpunk, right? But not cyberpunk. Synthwave. This kind of synthwave style with the violet and pink. And the wet roads, and then we have a little bit of like, I would say Chinese kind of like road signs in here. Pretty cool. Man, Asia is so nice. I don't know why, but I'm always attracted by these kind of like Asian fonts and their little shops. I think it's kind of like, because in Asia you still often have these small street shops with all kinds of stickers and products and weirdness and friendliness in there and coziness and kind of like this family vibe and something like that. It's not yet that streamlined in a lot of regions. The bigger cities start to streamline everything and becomes as faceless as like we have in the West with all these kind of chains like Starbucks and Burger King, but there you still have these kind of like little family shops and whatnot, you know. Although I have to admit, I'm a huge fan of 7-Eleven, so when I'm in Asia I basically go there every day. But yeah, these little street stalls and restaurants and whatnot is pretty nice, very nice. Anyways, a little bit of vaporwave. I've never heard that. What is vaporwave? I know vaporware, which is a software that is promised but never produced. It just turns into vapor and it's gone. Yeah, synthwave colors. Yeah, totally, right? Very nice. I can send some more images if you have run out of it. It would be better if some other people like sent more images. So there we have the video. Let me make this full screen. And then we have this kind of like acid dream here, basically. Oh no, the compression is breaking down a little bit. Very nice. Oh, do you love like in the... Oh, that's it? I thought there's an angel also in there. Was that already it? Oh no, it's loading. Ah, oh, I'm sorry. It's not working. Oh no, is my internet gone? The heck? My internet gone? No, seems to work. Okay. Okay, maybe we check that out later. But here we have the good old DeLorean. Very nice, with kind of like all this kind of neon street motor scene attachments to it. Looks very good. I love neon signs. Ah, this is one thing. Also, I think this is also the one thing I love about Asia is these like thousands of neon signs everywhere. And I hope they keep them because they kind of like reduce that also with the streamlining, but actually I really like that. In the windows, on the buildings, all these kind of beautiful colors, and then you have it bent in all these kind of fonts and shapes. And in Asia, most cultures have this very like cozy style about them. They love these little comic figures and animations and little like characters with very big heads and a big smile. So just like everything is made to make you kind of feel good about your life. And that's kind of really cool. Very nice. Here we have, I think in the West, we often have too much strictness and we want to look too like successful and hard and edgy in real life rather than embracing the like coziness. I think the coziness would actually be better because I think everybody loves their childhood, right? Everybody loves to be like a young boy or a young girl and just like doing whatever in life without a care, rather than this, oh, I have to fight to the top to be a hero bullshit. I'm not too much into that. Anyways, yeah, neon signs are very nice. I actually thought about either I buy some on Amazon or next time I go to Asia, I buy some there and then bring them back, which means I have to really have an empty suitcase. Not sure if that's a good idea and if they might break, so maybe I just buy them here and pay like 5 times the price. But yeah, what you're gonna do? Or maybe I can buy them used, I don't know. Anyways, this was, by the way, by, I have no idea. I think Patrick Shilikovsky. Is that it? Yes, Shilikovsky. There we go. That's from Shilikovsky. Let's check this out again if it works now. No. Is Vimeo down right now? What's going on? Sorry, it doesn't work. For some reason, Vimeo is not playing today. Well, we have seen half the video, so that's a good start. Ooh, look at that. Mrs. What could you say about that? I don't even know. like cyberpunk latex. Is she a hero or a villain? She has a lot of spiky parts about her. She looks more like a villain. That thing is tight as hell. Whoa. I don't want to know how much she's sweating under that. It looks like there's no, it doesn't have any breathable air. It's kind of like strange how stuff that looks really good in real life is also at the same time super impractical to wear. So yeah, good luck getting out of that at the end of the day. I love the little, like, how would you say that? It's not a skirt, it's more of a how would you phrase that? It's not a cape because it doesn't start at the shoulders. It's like a half, not a half skirt because that's the length of it. Not sure how you would call that. A whale, not a whale. A whale is on the head. Anyways, looks pretty cool though. Very nice. Very, very thin though. She certainly needs to eat some more because that is like, she's almost breaking off at the middle. There we go. A pareo? It's called a pareo, really? Shawl? Shawl? You mean shawl? No, a shawl is what you put around your neck. What model is that? I don't know. I haven't created that one. So no idea what model that is. Might be. You think it's Flux? It might be Flux. Maybe SDXL? Not quite sure. Might be Flux though. Okay. Anyways, let's go to the next image, which is here. We have this kind of like clay woman who's kind of like drying up. She needs some skincare for sure. There we go. Is she covered in mud or is she made from mud? I'm not quite sure here. Is this a war scene or something? I'm not quite sure. A rear apron. Is that a real thing? A rear apron? I've never heard of that. I like the front apron thing that you have like with a dirndl or something, like with some traditional clothing. You have this apron in the front as part of the outfit. But that's pretty cool here. Can even, oh no, we can only zoom in a little bit. I'd call it a pareo. Not sure, but surely learn some fashion words. Pareo. Let me check this out. Pareo. So. Not quite sure about that. Yeah, it's this kind of, you mean these kind of like things you put around your hip as like not a skirt, but some kind of like, not like a towel, you know, like, yeah, interesting. So that's a pareo. So many interesting fashion words, huh? Could be. It would be really interesting to figure out what the word for that specific thing is. We could actually, oh, wait a second. Let me switch here real quick. Let's find Claude again. Claude AI. Okay. In fashion, how would you call a kind of cape that starts at the hip going downwards, made from a translucent material? Let's see. Is there something like that? A hip cape? Never heard of that. Sheer half cape, translucent overskirt cape. Oh, I think it just comes up with some stuff. No, but is there an actual fashion term for it? Forget about cape. It is more like a skirt. the back with no front. How is that called in fashion? A bustle skirt. Check that out. Oops. Okay. Oh. Oh yeah. All right. Ah. There we go. A bustle skirt. Look at that. This is like the benefit of AI is AI can figure stuff out that only an expert would know. So this is a bustle skirt. Pretty cool. I had no idea about that. Holy crap. Interesting. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Wow. A bustle skirt. That is awesome. Pretty cool. The version that we saw before looks a little bit different than this, but basically that's what it is, right? Whoa. Okay, so we learned something new. Bustle skirt. If you want to use that in your AI prompts, that's what it is. The bustle skirt. Kind of. Little bit. Anyways. So we already saw that one. There we have the baby sleeping with the glowing stars and moon in the background. Very cute. Very nice. Love the light on the face. Kind of rim light and then the blue atmosphere in the face. Very nice colors. Very nice contrast. The body head ratio looks a little bit strange, but if it's a small baby for sure. But on the other hand has a lot of hair, right? Only $17.99 if you yeah. next time I wear that. You wouldn't even see that because I'm sitting down, you know, but anyways. There's one worn by a ballerina, can't remember the name though. It's very lightweight. By ballerinas, don't they have like these stiff, I don't even know right now what they are called, the ballerina skirts. Yeah, but they also look very good. Working a prompt. Yeah, maybe. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, we have oh god, my brain again. The big one, Godzilla and the burning city. There we go. Very nice reflection in the eye. This could be kind of like a movie poster or something. The only like problem I have with this image is that in his eye reflection it's night and everything is burning, and in the real like light around his eye it's daylight with no smoke to be seen. So if that would be fixed, which I think could be done in post, it's a pretty cool image. Really like that. Very nice. I love the reflection in there with that destroyed city and everything. So that's very, very cool. Yeah. Godzilla. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. It's a nice concept, huh? Looks really good. I love these kind of... Like, I'm not a fan of Godzilla movies. Are you a fan of Godzilla movies? I feel like for me, I think like in the Godzilla movies, there isn't enough in there. Also with the King Kong movies, there isn't enough because I basically already know before I watch the movie what is going on. You have Godzilla and then there is some fight and then the fight is ending and happy end. So you basically already know everything is going to happen with any of these movies, and that's kind of like there is too little, you know? They should play with that more. I feel like, for example, with the Alien series, even though there have been some movies that have been criticized for their stories by the fans, I feel like there's a lot of different variation in there to play with the alien, with the society, with the philosophy of the these kind of alien architects and our society and everything. There's a lot of different dimensions in there, while Godzilla, I feel like most of the time it's just city bashing and then the movie is ending. And that's like, yeah, but give me more, you know? Cloverfield, on the other hand, was more interesting, I feel like. Fun movies to watch once with a friend. Yeah, it's like the kind of popcorn movie you want to watch when you're like, you just want to eat a pizza and fall asleep during the movie. That's the kind of picture you want to see because you're not really missing anything, you know? The Mothra, yeah. Mothra is kind of cool, but also like how dangerous is a moth really? You know, it's not like the most scary thing in the world. Oh, there we have our little Mars explorer, or on whatever planet he is, but I would say that's Mars. Looks pretty cool with the 6 wheels. Cruising around, exploring. Oh, I like space exploration games. I don't have, I mean, I have enough time to play video games. I just don't use it for playing video games, but I kind of would like to play more. It was kind of nicer when you're younger. For some reason, video games is more fun when you're young. I think because when you're young, you're maybe a little bit more gullible about the meaningfulness of playing these games. While today I have some kind of like this, what is it called in movies? Something of disbelief. What is it called? Where you like give up your better judgment for the enjoyment of the movie. Which also with movies I have kind of like a difficult time, because some of the Marvel movies is just so stupid. But I think a lot of people have that problem with this kind of MacGuffin, basically, this kind of like thing that is apparently bad, some kind of object, and they need to stop the guy from using the object. The story is just very hollow. Suspension of disbelief. Yeah, that's it, you know. And I feel like in the past, when I was younger, like playing Minecraft or any other video games, I felt it more because I felt I felt more with the characters and the world in the game. I felt like I was more involved in that. And now I kind of feel like I'm less involved in that. Yeah. Even with this, like, what is it called? Still wakes or something? These still deep wakes? This is a stupid video game name. It's really hard to remember, at least for me. Let me check out some other links here. But yeah, even there it was like, yeah, but I don't know. It's I don't feel that endangered by it. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, how long is the stream? Only 1 hour? Are you kidding me? I thought we have already like over 2 hours. We have barely like 1 hour 20 minutes. What? The Steam link is updated. Yeah, but Steam didn't work. That was the problem, right? Okay, let me check out some other links here. Oh, that looks actually pretty nice. And then let me put this in here. 1 second, I just have to... Oh, okay, that's beautiful. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Ooh, okay. And then... Also very nice. Okay, cool. So, the first one is... Let me check this again, if I'm right. Yes. Okay, the first one is by Rainier NL. There we go. Beautiful. A little bit of Cyberpunk with all these street signs. Looks a little bit like Neon Cyber City, but from the characters and the painting style, it's more classic, actually. So it could be either. So maybe this is just like a couple walking through a very intense version of Hong Kong or Tokyo with all these neon signs and buildings and everything. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Very nice. Really like it. All these like power lines or telephone lines or whatever it is. Looks really good. Oh, I would love to be there now. Have some Asian food and stuff like that. That would be really good. By the way, they do have now in Thailand a digital nomad visa that lasts for 6 months, which is really cool. It's not cheap, but I think it's like 280 euros or dollars to get it. But you can stay for 6 months and then you can renew it. You have to pay the same amount again. You have to renew it for another 6 months. So basically it's around, how much is it? $560 or euros per year to stay there for a full year, and you can do that for 5 years. I'm not quite sure what happens after that. I guess after that time you just have to leave the country for a bit and then come back and restart that. So that's pretty cool. That sounds really, really nice. Like 6 months is a good amount of time. And then I feel like at that point you kind of want to come back, experience some Western food, Western culture again, and then go back again. Not sure. Search. There we go. It's the next image with, oh, the Flux 1 car. Very nice. There we go. Really cool. I love these cars in video games. Just driving around in very nice supercars is really good. You can add it to the description. You can add what to description? Try to submit it again. It will be lost in the chat. Oh, did someone submit something? You can't submit any links though. I used the AI to write a song about stealing a captain's hat in the style of Frank Sinatra. Cool, very nice. So pretty cool. It's an Audi, as you can see from the rings here in the front. Very nice car. With, looks a little bit like a Bavarian building here in the background. Kind of like Bavarian wood farmer building or something like that. So that's very nice. Yeah. And you can see like how Flux feels a little bit, feel like a little bit more real, especially because in the smaller details you got more detail in there. While the prior models, they often just like, they make the main thing very detailed and the rest is then like having a lot less details often. Okay, anyways, let's go on to the next one. This is a website, by the way, from Umbral Dream. So we have here multiple images. Actually, I just want to show one. So yeah, it's not unfair to the other people. Let me put this in a new tab so we don't have that problem. Very nice. Looks really beautiful like that. So that's pretty good. It has a little bit of this kind of like medieval style and fantasy style at the same time. It reminds me a little bit of that movie. What is the movie name? The famous singer. I can't remember his name either. And there is a big labyrinth. I think the movie's called The Labyrinth, right? With that singer. What's his name? Didn't he do like Major Tom? Is that the guy? I think that's the guy, right? I can't remember right now. Umbral Dreams. Hey, there we go. I'm Andre. Let me know if you have any questions or something. Hope I'm not holding up the stream too much with sending a link to the whole gallery. No, don't worry, because I'm just picking one image. David Bowie. There we go. David Bowie. He was a character, right? Not Elvis. No. Oh God, he made awful films. But anyways, Elvis, I think Elvis made the movies mostly for the money. While David Bowie, he was like on an artistic mission for all of his life and created these different characters, Ziggy Stardust and stuff like that, and changed always. Like he's a you can see like a really good artist in the way that he's able to switch through different styles, different genres, reinvent himself again and again, and still like uphold that kind of quality, you know. Like a lot of artists, they are just able to do one thing really good and the rest not so much. But he's like, he played around with a lot of different things, which was really interesting, and introduced some new topics and perspectives into music. So that was also pretty interesting. And the movie is also very nice with The Labyrinth, right? The Man Who Fell to Earth. I don't know if I've ever seen that, to be honest. I didn't know there was a one picture rule. Yeah, don't worry, that's okay. I mean, it says it in the form as far as I can remember. But don't worry, that's okay. I picked one. So it's a pretty cool image, very, very nice. Do you do that as a business or do you do it as a just for fun? Like what's the idea here, especially because you have a complete like website around it? Is there, you try to sell these or how does it work? So we have more of that. Like all of them, very nice quality, very good, very detailed, pretty cool. So I'm pretty sure you invested a lot of time in figuring out how to do these. Kind of like, do you mix that? Like, do you mix it between Midjourney to create the artfulness of the image and then you use, I don't know, stable, any of the stable diffusion models to make it more detailed and fix the image better? Or is it just one, you do everything just in stable diffusion, for example? I don't think you do everything in Midjourney because for that the quality looks too detailed from the upscaling. But from the artfulness, it looks a lot like Midjourney. Might turn into a business if there's enough interest in it. I'm a professional photographer. Oh, that sounds good. Okay, pretty cool. Hey, we have a donation. Very good. $6, €6 actually. Very nice. Cool. So today is pizza day. Tomorrow is pizza day. Sorry for that. I watched this channel for a second time to live stream and like it. Oh, very nice. Thank you very much for that. Let me put a like on that. There we go. Can I put a like on that? It doesn't react. I can't like that comment. Well, you have seen that I like it. So that's pretty cool. Thank you very much for the donation. I need to figure out how to get more donations on my live stream, by the way. That would be nice to have some more support through these streams. Maybe I could do that if I stream more often. Not quite sure. Anyways, pretty cool. We have here a spacesuit. Reminds me a little bit of that video game, which I can't remember name because my brain is fried again today. What is the name where there is this woman in the spacesuit? She can turn into a ball. You explore the area back and forth. You get certain powers over time and then explore the area again to unlock different areas. Not BioShock. No, not BioShock. I can understand why you think BioShock because of the big helmet, but I mean the one that you have on Nintendo, I think. Yeah, I think it's a Nintendo game. It's a vintage game, but they still make new ones. Metroid Prime. Yes, Metroid Prime. Right? Yeah, I was super surprised to hear that this is actually a woman inside of the suit. Samus. Yeah. Right. Metroid Prime. That's it. Is the series called Metroid Prime or just Metroid and only one of the games is called Metroid Prime? Metroid Prime. There we go. Same as Aaron. There we go. Okay, pretty cool. So got some fans of the game in here. So that looks pretty cool. It also looks a little bit like Halo, to be honest. And it's very nice. He's coming through this kind of gate. Maybe time traveling. I don't know. Looks really nice. Love the big helmet. I love these cinema big helmets like in the Alien movie. I don't know what it's called, where they land on the planet. And find this kind of weapon factory. And you have these kind of like lights inside of the helmet so you can see the actors better. And I love that. It's kind of like cinematic, actually impractical helmet, but it looks really cool in sci-fi movies. It's kind of interesting. I also, by the way, I love to ask AI why people, if it was real, would act like that in the movies. Because I think in these like two newer alien movies, Prometheus and I'm not sure what the other one is called, they make a lot of stupid decisions. And it's always nice to like have an AI explain to you why would a society make these kind of decisions in a real world scenario, right? So you not to like make it feel more real to me, but because it's so goofy, but at the same time it's an alternative reality, that it's kind of fun to figure out how come that it happens like this, you know? And that's kind of like, it's a fun thing to do. It's a fun little game to figure that out and play around with that. And then often you get some pretty interesting explanations for that, right? There we go. Okay, let me go to the next one. Oh, there we have the Indian woman with the baby robot. Interesting. Okay. Not sure if this might be a thing in the future, but maybe, you know. They're already working on these kind of like AI robot butlers. I'm pretty interested to see how soon they're gonna come to our real world homes. Probably first to the very rich people, personally I think that these kind of like humanoid robots are not really gonna be a thing, because while they look pretty cool in marketing and you can make nice viral videos about them, this form is actually not really that practical for machines. It's good for us in our form. For machines, not so much. So the machines usually don't look like we look, right? Even if they do very similar tasks, they are specialized on the task and not so much on the, you know, looking human. That's not really some quality that makes too much sense. It makes sense maybe visually. That might be a thing, you know. But I feel like it's probably more likely to have something like a robot arm or something that is built into your kitchen to help you with stuff, rather than a robot walking around like a creepy ghost in your home. That's kind of like a little bit strange. And also like takes a ton of sensors and everything to actually do that. But I might be wrong. So I don't have any crystal ball for the future either. And there we have, wow, this looks like from the multiverse. Do you remember that scene where everything is made from liquid, very vibrant color? That's kind of cool. I like these. I wish they would have put a little bit more of these kind of strangeness of the multiverse into that movie, rather than just putting everything into a 10-second long cut. That was kind of like, it was cool, but it like jumped over most of the stuff. But it's really cool. They have this kind of like color splattering, or is it lava? I'm not quite sure. Yeah. It's also kind of sad, to be honest, that like things like that wouldn't really happen in real life because of the physics that don't like work the same way on this big scale that they would in a small scale, you know? So there's like pretty cool things that you can do in animation or in fantasy like this, but not for real, you know? And it's kind of like, but it would be cool if you could do some stuff like that for real. I mean, we don't have the possibility to do that anyways, but you know what I mean. I think people will prefer humanoids even if they aren't ideal for use in the home, but there is room for other specializations from certain applications, is what Kay says. I don't know. I feel like I feel like it would be rather difficult to create a humanoid that is not like eerie and scary to be around. Like something that feels nice and like approachable and human and like, you know, not scary, not like strange or something like that, you know? It might be more possible if you have like a robot dog or something. Like even the robot dogs we have right now are kind of cute because we like dogs, and we don't like we are not associated to dogs enough to be able to tell every little detail about their body, you know. But with humans we are, and the human face to us is very specific, and if something about that is off, it feels strange. Or the human movement, because we care very much about ourselves. Every little thing that is not exactly like that feels pretty often kind of scary. You know what I mean? And with other things like toys or dogs or cats or anything like that, the robotic form is like easier to do, because if it's kind of like a dog and kind of has a cool, cute face, we're already good with that, you know? The Tesla bots. Has Tesla ever shown an actual bot? Don't even know. Or was it always like people wearing a suit or something? Oh, they showed this thing. Did they show anything in action? Optimus. There we have Optimus. Let's check this out real quick. Okay. No movement. Yeah. looks around a little bit. Okay. Meh. I mean, if you think about it, like a good phone costs around $1,000. Good computer costs around maybe, let's say, $3,000, $1,500 to $3,000. A car costs you, if it's not used, maybe 20, 30,000. So what would this cost, right? And like, let's say, do we have a nice image here? 1 second. Nope. Nope. There we go. So let's say they can figure out kind of a good price for it. It would cost, let's say, between 8 and 15,000 to buy one of those guys. Would you spend that for someone who is carrying your laundry to the washing machine and bring you some coffee or something? Like, what is he actually going to do in your life? You know, maybe he goes shopping for you, but is it like, would you really send that to a shop with your money or something? Like, and then the price will be 25,000. Yeah. No, I mean, like, when the price is going down a little bit, but let's say 25,000, and then maybe you can get it used after a couple of years for 10,000. Would you spend $10,000 to have something at home that is kind of creepy and then like folds your laundry for $10,000? I'm not sure about that, you know? It would have to be ridiculously like cheap to actually have that, right? It kind of like, it could maybe cook for you, but imagine like how often you can order food for $10,000, right? And then of course this thing is not like free of repairs, and it has to be like replaced after a couple of years. So maybe this thing is good for 5-6 years, and then you have to get a new one. Whew, that's a lot. It's a lot of money for a servant, basically, that does like, I don't know, you know, if that is so useful in everyday life, other than in factories, of course. But even in factories, if you have like the Amazon bots, they don't look like that at all, you know, because they are built for just like specific functions. Oh, this guy actually looks a little bit like, oh no, that's not a real thing. This is the one thing here. You know, like the Amazon bots, they look like this, and then they move the shelves around really fast and efficient. You know, like, so you see they pull them up, they push them up, and then they drive them around to the location where you have a human sorting the stuff for you into the packages. But that's it. It's not a humanoid robot. Wouldn't make too much sense, right? So I don't know. It might be a thing, but maybe as a soldier or something. I don't really see at the moment how this could be feasible from the cost for your home. You know, it would, yeah, if it's way cheaper. Like if you can get a robot like that for $2,000, I think I would invest $2,000 and get one. You know, but if it's 10,000, no way. I don't even have a car, so I'm not gonna, like, you know, buy this kind of bot for that kind of money. So here we have a very cute cat in a valley sitting at the water, checking out the waterfall and the, I guess it's a sunset. Looks pretty cool though, very cozy. Only 500 rich people post videos of their robots every day. I mean, a lot of people, like, this is, by the way, this is the funny thing. So many people bought that Apple Vision Pro headset just for the social media cloud to make some videos. And then a couple of weeks later, they gave it back just to make some videos and look cool and like, the future, blah blah, but they all knew it's bullshit and it's too expensive and there is not really any use to actually use it. The best thing I think that came out of the Vision Pro is actually the idea of spatial computing versus the stupid idea of the metaverse. And I hope that Mark Zuckerberg understands that, and he really made some really good changes to the Quest headset. And the Quest headset, of course, is much better because it costs a lot less and has basically most of the time the same abilities. So yeah. Anyways, here we have the really, really cool cat. I don't even know who made that. I think it's from Freak22. Maybe. Let me see. Yes, Freak22. There we go. Okay, we have 2 more images. Oh, wow. Okay, so first this one, which is very small for some reason. Can we get it bigger? Ah, we can get it bigger. There we go. Beautiful warrior. Warriors? What are the female versions of these things? Female warrior with a very nice, kind of like a laser sword. I love this kind of like pyramid building in the background. And then these kind of buildings that look a little bit like a mosque here, which is interesting. And yeah, very nice, very beautiful and detailed. It's missing a little bit of the surface texture of different elements in there. So is it, what kind of engine is that? Is it Flux or is it XL? Because of the missing details in the surface, I would rather tend to think this might be an upscaled or like just an XL image with maybe some face fixing in there. But not sure, not sure about that. And then we have this one. Whoa, that looks very nice. Pretty cool, look at that. Beautiful woman walking through this kind of like very nice cave, very good colors with the blue and the orange. A little bit like almost teal orange mix. It's Flux, really? Oh, interesting, okay. And yeah, looks very, very nice. The background looks a little bit like these medieval like churches or like a holy place or something. And the front is like a cave. So that is very, very nice. Pretty cool. It's interesting that there is this kind of like cotton or something on the ground everywhere. Kind of strange, but also nice. Why not? It's really interesting. What is the time? Let me see. 1 hour 44. Okay, we can take some time for chatting. Let me switch over here. And then let me put the chat over here. There we go. So we can have some actual time for having chats and things like that. I always think like when I think about AI that let's remove the link. There we go. And unpin it also. Okay, there we go. So this is gone. When I think about AI, I think like the solutions we're gonna see are gonna be more everyday-ish, more trivial in the way they are built, and more practical, much more practical. But what I also think is that they are built in a way of how the world will change through AI. And I think that's the best way to try to understand AI is to figure out what exactly is it changing about how we go about things in the everyday world, right? Which is not easy to do, of course, and it's really hard to predict these kind of things for the future. But if you think about social media and the smartphones, a lot has changed about our society in how we do things, what we do, why we do things. So that's pretty interesting. And a major element of that is that everything has become kind of fluid through these devices because you can do all of them on the go. So there is no time or place limit. The time and place is wherever you are, wherever you want to do it. And you can iterate on that, you know, and because of that, it became pretty fluid. Like if you want to meet a friend, you don't have to set the meeting point, meeting date like 5 hours in advance. You can go and say, hey, let's change the spot to another place or something like that. Or I come 15 minutes later or whatnot. You can just like message them. You can even send a live GPS signal where you are at the moment, and that really changes how society works as a whole. Ghost Branch says, slightly off-topic question, where are you from? Your name sounds Greek. My father is Greek, but I have been raised in Germany. I was born in Germany, and now, so my mother is German, and now I'm living in Vienna at the moment. So I have been here for the last 20 years. I'm very much thinking about moving to Asia because I really like it there. But I'm not sure about that. We have to see about that. Yeah. And yeah, so that's my story from where I'm from. Yeah, but it's really interesting to see where AI is going. I think we are still in a phase of misunderstanding what AI is and what it can do for us in the way it is right now. And it needs this kind of process of, I would think that we see the first actual applications of AI in a meaningful way in about 5 years, 5-6 years, something like that, which seems a long way off, but you have to consider that society moves slow. Technology can move faster, but society is slow to adapt to things. And also, if you want to build up major structures for AI to be actually used in an everyday situation, you have to first build these structures. That also takes some time in a way where it's actually really integrated. You know, like we have some first kind of things with ChatGPT where it's nice to talk to the AI, but that's just like baby steps, right? Have you done much of Minimax? What is Minimax? I'm really liking it, but it's probably too slow for the stream without having videos queued up ahead of time. No. I have to check out Minimax. Let me take a note of that. Put it in here. There we go. Minimax. I will check that out. I did a lot of Runway in the past. There we go. I still have to reach out to them because actually I wanted them to pay me a little bit for doing all these streams about Runway. But so far I haven't really made that happen, which would be nice, you know. Like I do the videos anyway, I do the streams anyway because they did some really cool stuff and I love to like render your images as videos. But while I'm at it, they can give me a little bit of money to support my channel, so that might be good. Especially if I already like a product, nothing about my opinion is changing by getting a little bit of money. But so far, didn't happen. Freak Hitman says, is it planned to show, for example, the projects of your community like models or LoRa's? That was also asked last week. I think in a comment rather than live stream. Yeah, I will look at the models and then we could do a video about the models. I think I should also do more videos about models in general. I think people are interested to like check out or talk about, hey, there has been update to that model and this is how it has improved and stuff like that. So I will absolutely look into that to make more of the LoRa and model videos again. Yeah, would be fair. Yeah, I think so, right? If I do something for them, they could do a little bit for me. That would be nice, at least. Society moves slowly, AI moves fast, but the people developing AI move at light speed. Talk to some names at the AI industry and you would not believe what they think the world will be in like 5 years. Yeah, but you have to keep in mind that these guys tell you a lot of like dreamed up scenarios because they have to talk like that to get investor money. That's the main thing. They all want to have the cash. None of them have actually good working solutions that are highly reliable. My throat is really sore right now. Not sure why. and still one of the main things I'm really missing in most of the AI companies is that they do something that is actually new. Because most of the companies, they do the same thing, but with AI. And that's not the use of it. You know, that doesn't make any sense. It has to be something that is new in the way that AI is new, and we still have to figure that out, you know. Personally, I think a strong contender for AI, if AI is even able to do that, is that AI makes the interface unnecessary. So if you go to a page, if there even is a page, you talk to AI and AI will show you what you need at that moment without the interface. You decide the interface, or the AI decides it on your preferences. So that content does not have to prepare it beforehand. The content is there to a certain degree as it is needed. Especially, I think the content is there as a, how can I say, as a base structure. You know what I mean? So, for example, you have several pictures of a product you want to buy, and you have an actual description of the product you want to buy, but both of them are just inspiration for the AI to show you what you want to see. So maybe it takes the image, but then it adjusts the body and renders your face on top of that person, and it will adapt the text so it is closer to the information that you're specifically looking for, but also the kind of way how you speak, how you interact with things. So it will apply the content mostly to your liking, individualized, basically. You know, I think that makes a lot of sense. Netflix AI generated new season for any TV show. I would be surprised about that, to be honest, if it works like that. I think that is way off. I think we will see a lot of AI supported content in the future where scenes have been enhanced with AI, but if not even humans can write a good show, and you can see that, for example, on the Disney shows, they have so much money, they have so skilled people, and still they write these kind of boring shows. I think for an AI, it would be even harder to do that. Especially, like, even the best AI today cannot write a good story, which is really surprising, because AI, you can have really interesting discussions about all kinds of topic. But when you want to have a novel, when you want to have a scene, when you want to have a poem, when you want to have a rap or anything like that, AI is surprisingly shallow and surprisingly uninspired. You can ask it to write in a certain style of an author you like, but the story itself is going to be really weak and missing all the details and the finer parts, and actually having some depth, actually something that moves you. And I think that is... that might be more of a human ability, because you have to adjust the situation in the moment when you write, you know what I mean? But also then base it on life experience. And the problem is AI doesn't have any life experience, because data is not understanding, and data is not knowledge. Data is just data, and AI has data at the moment. So if it will ever have understanding, that's a different question. You know, that's complex. Especially because understanding is the result of a process and not of how can I say, you can't just put it down and you have understanding in there, you know. Like, for example, if you read a book and someone writes it in a really nice way, the understanding of the person is in the text of the book, yes, but doesn't help you unless you really work yourself through the book and discuss with other people, read additional books to understand the meaning of what is said in the book. So you still have to create that understanding. And then also the book itself isn't smart. The book itself doesn't have any understanding. Even if it was a digital book, it's just a book. It's just, it can't do anything with that, right? So like that is kind of like limited. Okay, I should look at some comments, sorry. I bet there will soon be a completely AI-generated rock concert. I feel it more for music, to be honest, because I feel a lot of music we are listening today is more like background music. We don't care too much about it. So I see it more there, not so much in the lyrics, but in the music. I think music can be AI generated, especially, by the way, I think one of the reasons why music works better with AI than, for example, images is because in an image you see everything at the same time. And because of that, you can also compare all of the different parts of the image to other parts of the image at the same time. While music is something that happens over time and you only keep it in your memory. But our memory is pretty like... how do you say, inconsistent, not inconsistent, it evaporates pretty fast, right? So it's not that easy to compare different parts of a track while you're listening to it, because you're listening to a little bit of the song through time forward, right? And I think because of that, AI for music can work better than for images. Also, of course, music and sounds are a lot more abstract. There is not really something you can actually compare it to it, unless it is a classic instrument, of course. I think Kay says, I think it will happen someday, but it shouldn't be done prematurely, or it will have harm to long-term progress in terms of AI adaptation. Yeah, probably, right? I think a lot of things might happen over time. I personally, I don't think we will ever have this kind of human level AGI or superhuman level AGI that is like completely on our level. And the reason why I think that is because it sounds good in our dreams, but technically it's, I think, beyond the physical limitations of what can actually be done. Because the models would be incredibly large, you would have to have incredibly powerful computers or even like server structures to run that. And then for what reason, you know? So I think what we do with our brain is way more advanced than what anything we can do in real life right now with computers. Our brain is just like way more advanced in what it can do. And also the computing process is different, right? So if the computing process, if we find new ways to compute information, then we have, of course, another possibility of do things like that. But with the way we do it right now, I think there is a physical limitation on how smart AI can get. Although it might be superhuman in the sense of maybe not be as smart as a human, but being able to do things faster and also for a longer time consistently. And that is basically what we have with machines, if you think about it. If you have an industrial machine that can pop out these kind of tumblers here, 10,000 a day, that is good. But the machine can't do anything else, and the machine isn't smart, and the machine breaks down and whatever, but it can do it very fast. And in that regard, it's already superhuman, because it can do more than any human ever could, but it is not better than humans. It's very limited, but it's also very good, you know? So that's still, I have this kind of perspective. Kay says Claude can write can write pretty well if you give it a lot of interesting elements that you have constructed. Yeah, sure. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I think AI will need a lot of our input and then refine that input. I think personally, from my perspective, the main use of AI for, let's say, the next 10-15 years is going to refine what we input into it. So you write a good text structure and then you say to the AI, fill in the details for me. So the story is already there and it's built on your ingenuity, your creativity, your experience, your artistic way to play with the story and make it into something deep and something that grips the reader and stuff like that. And then you just tell the AI, okay, now fill in all the details so I don't have to waste all that kind of time. I feel like that absolutely is a thing that makes a lot more sense for AI to be used. I'm talking too much and reading too little comments here. A better model won't be able to overcome that. TechDNA says, I don't think it won't take so much longer. Writing nowadays is so bad. Writing nowadays is so bad, I don't see why a better model won't be able to overcome that. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Like the writing of actual people nowadays is so bad? You mean for like shows on Disney Plus or something like that? Or do you mean the AI writing is so bad? I'm not quite understanding that. Kay says there is a lot of room for efficiency gains, and I think everyone having access to an expert would be very... Yes, absolutely. Like this is one of the things where I think AI is making the biggest impact, is that our children will have private AI teachers that are correct most of the time in what they explain. And so you can ask questions, you can learn from them. And instead of having a teacher who is good at what they do, but not really a high-level expert, it also doesn't have the patience to explain it to you individually, let alone the time for that, because we have like classes with 30 people in that and such, you know. The huge benefit of having a private teacher explaining complex questions to you, or even simple things to you, in a way that makes it easy for you to understand and give you examples and stuff like that, that is really going to enhance the learning process of the people. Yeah. Free Kipman says, yes, maybe the AI have to learn how the neurons in the brain work, maybe be learned on actual brain data. True. Yeah, that is one of the concepts for AI, is that we scan the brain and then train the AI on how the brain works. The problem with that is we can't do that, because we don't have the tools, the sensors that are precise enough to actually measure that. So if you hear that they measure brain waves to like extract images from the brain and stuff like that, that is a rather crude like brainwave measurement, a very like a large, not very detailed picture of what the brain actually does. But to actually record what all of these billions of neurons do in your brain in real time, so you have an actual recording of the whole process, we don't have the tools for that. That's one of the biggest problems. We can't just copy that. And even if we could, it would be massive amounts of data. So that is already like a technical limitation we can't overcome at the moment. We might be in the future. By the way, this is also the reason why at the moment, if you would think, hey, we can just upload a brain into AI, but scanning the brain and then like making the AI a copy of that scan of the brain doesn't work, because we can't scan a brain. We don't have the ability to do that at the moment. Not in that amount of detail that would be needed. Oh man, there's so many messages here. 1 second. Dark Player said, I think political bias with coders and engineers is slowing down the entire process. You're only reaching like-minded people. I don't really see how that would like influence the like process of AI development to have like political correctness basically in these models. It changes how much you can interact with the models, because it says, hey, that's not what you should ask me, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the training process. Songs on Spotify. There are AI-generated songs on Spotify as a positive development, says Reiner NL. Now, that is kind of a big question. Like, how much is the like amount of AI output a problem for the overall artistic environment, or like all of human culture? Like, how much is it influenced if there is so much output of AI, because it can create much more at a much shorter time? And then, like, for example, if you go to Google image search today, you will find that it's often almost impossible to find an actual image if you search for something, because everything is pooped with all these kind of AI images about the thing you try to find. So, for example, if you go to Google and you want to have, let's say, a Warhammer Space Marine, and you search for that, or a specific character from Warhammer, there is so many AI images, and it's like you can't even, like, often you can't really tell if it's an AI image or not, so you don't know is this what the character looks like, or is this just a version that someone created but it looks nothing like the character? So this kind of like AI labeling, where you could like put a hook and say, I don't want to see any AI images, I want to see the real thing, I feel like that would make a lot of sense in a lot of regards, where you want to have a differentiation between the AI content, which is cool most of the time, and the actual real content that you need some of the time. And I think there should be some kind of separation in some way, you know? Especially, like, I think one of the biggest problems right now with that is, and sorry if I say it like that, but there is a huge mass of rather unskilled people just playing around and then feeling the need to post whatever they create online, and like really filling up all these kind of results with their kind of mediocre AI creations. It would be like better if you have some, like, how can I say it? I think we need something, for example, with search engines, where the result is like social media, where there is a kind of filtration system of the bad stuff gets hidden or like is lower down where you don't really see it, and only the good stuff is coming up to the surface. So we have some kind of like, right now the searches often don't have a qualifier. So you are plastered with all kinds of poop that has no value, and you don't really find the stuff you're actually looking for, and that can be really annoying. Maybe with music it's the same thing, where you say, hey, I just want to listen to some good drum and bass, and all you find is like a million songs by people who have no music understanding and just put drum and bass, I don't know, summer hit into the AI engine and uploaded it to Spotify in the hope they make some pennies there. That's not exactly great. There needs to be some qualifier for that, you know? Okay, wow, I'm missing so much minute. I need to go a little bit faster to these. I don't want to have chips in my brain. I don't want to have chip in my brain, folks. I would love to have a chip in my brain, to be honest. If it enables me to know everything in real time, and have the answers of ChatGPT without needing to read them, that would be actually cool. Actually have multiple professors that believe in ancient aliens. Oh, come on. Particular red flag with the engineering professor. Personally, really, I think people who have that kind of belief should not be teaching. They should be removed from their post, because that's like just... It doesn't have to have any place in these kind of like educational surroundings. You can do whatever you want in your free time. You can write books and novels and make shows and YouTube videos about aliens and what not. But if you're educational and either you pay for that education or the government pays for the education, people like that should not be there. Me Not Other says scientists and engineers concede organoid organic brain cells to process. Yeah, we do a lot of experimentation with that. I love that, actually. These kind of like bio chips or something like that, they actually try to use brain cells right now in a very limited way, but it could become a real thing, you know, even for data storage. That's really interesting. Kay says, I'm fine with chip in my brain. Yeah, me too. David Chattel says, moreover, if the brain works the way it does because it has some quantum properties, as some researchers seem to show, then scanning a brain may collapse the quantum status. Killing the spirit? I don't know. I don't really believe in a spirit or something like that. It's all just like meat. Gray matter. Anyways, but I know what you mean. Like, maybe, but I'm not sure about that. Is Forge is coming to automatic 11.11? Forge is automatic 11.11. They improve Forge and update it more often, but it is automatic 11.11. Kay says, I was watching a video yesterday about the AI translation to published translations of public domain books, and that didn't feel great. Who wants to read an AI translation of Shakespeare? That's a good question. Like, I think AI translation is good if it's just the content, because then it gets most of the stuff right. But of course, if it's artistic, there's a lot of variation in there. But at the same time, if you speak 2 different languages, I invite you to go to your library, and you will be surprised how much variation is in there, either from how the translator understood the story differently, or how they adapted it to a different culture for the meaning, so people understand what is actually said in the book. But often, if you look at the translation, you will be like, but the original doesn't say it like that. And the reason for that, of course, also is often a lot of things can't actually be translated in what they are actually meaning. You can translate the meaning of the word, you can make an appropriation and get close to a translated meaning of it, but what it actually feels like and what it actually like does to you when you read that text in the original version is often not what it does to you in the translation. There's a difference between that, often. You know, but most of the time you get enough to really understand the story, so it doesn't really matter too much. Google search score 9, score 8 up. I don't know what that means. Yeah, but like a certain score of how many people thought this kind of result was a good idea. I think it might be good, especially for images, you know, like if you, the way they could do that is if you have a search result, you search for something, and then the images that most people click on, they become the more favorite results next time when you do the search, you know, like it works on social media, in filtering and curated data sources. We don't need improvements in filtering and curated data sources. We absolutely do. We absolutely do. Like if YouTube wouldn't curate and filter the content, there would be no way you would use YouTube, because there is so much like trash uploaded to YouTube every single day from people who basically have no business uploading a video because they don't know how to make a video, is mind-boggling. Like, I think every minute several hours of content are uploaded, all kinds of crap, and you have to work your way through the system to actually reach an audience. But that also makes sense, because if you would show any kind of dirt out there, just nilly-willy, completely random, you would never be able to see really good content. So to work your way up, like you have to work your way up through everything else in life, is a good process, because then you know, hey, that's actually good, right? Same thing with other stuff in life, you know? Like you figure out for yourself what your favorite brand is, and then you stick with that brand. If you could never buy the same product from the same brand again, because you have to buy a random product every time you try to buy that product, that would be madness, you know what I mean? Okay, what else do we have here? Oh man, there's so much. Okay, I'm reading a little bit. David says brain is 2050, Rick rolled every 30 seconds. I'm not sure what that means. No conspiracy theories in classrooms. Yeah, okay. David channels spirit as the whatever process makes you conscious. Interesting. Yeah, I have a lot of conversations with AI about what is actually consciousness. I think that's going to be the biggest question in culture and art for the next 20 years, maybe, until we have figured it out. I think that will be a big question. What is it actually that makes us human? Triple Hat says, with the AI translation, it's a hard one because localization, who translate the content, is Western culture, do not like the content they translate. Do not like the content they translate? And I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure how you mean that. Because usually people who translate a book are really into that content, unless they translate a manual for a washing machine, then they're not into it. But if you take the task to translate a like 600-page novel, you're usually a fan of that author to do that. And also, you need to have studied that author for a longer time. You have to done a lot of research to actually be able to translate the book. You can't just like pick up a book and translate it. Literal raw details instead of trying to subvert the messaging behind it due to personal misgivings. Yeah, but the problem is there is no literal raw details. That is the main thing. Like a lot of what culture is basically happening in between the lines. The reason why you understand how something in culture is interesting or cool is because you come from that culture and have that background information. But the thing is, the background information is going away over time, and then you lack that information and you only have what is given to you through the actual words or when you watch an old movie or stuff like that. So when you go to old enough texts, there's a lot of stuff in there where you're like, what? Well, what is that? Why is that funny? And people found that hilarious back in the day. They're like, oh, best joke ever. Never hear the best joke. And you look at it and you're like, no, nothing about that is funny, because you don't have the connection to why it is funny anymore. That's gone. That was in that time. It's not now anymore. And you're like, I can't connect to that. I don't have any understanding why that happens, even though it might also be English, but it's just like different, you know. The algorithm sends me some weird stuff. Some are just minute long. Video eyes showing game inventory scenes. I'm not sure what that means. Regarding Rickroll, you said earlier you have no... What? You have no problem getting a brain chip. Oh, yeah. Getting rickrolled by your brain chip. Okay, that sounds good, yeah. In my youth, spirit occasionally made me unconscious. Oh yeah, if you drink too much of the spirits, they can get angry. That's true. I would love a super intelligent AI we can all agree is not conscious. Consciousness creates a lot of ethical issues. Probably, right. Yeah. I mean, it is really bizarre. If you look into the sciences about animals, how much is, how can I say, how much is diverted, how much is like phrased in a strange way because it would create ethical problems, you know? Like, for example, and this is a real thing, science cannot agree if fish feel pain, because of course that would make an ethical problem of how to keep fish, how to kill fish, all that kind of stuff in the fish industry. And that's a huge industry. So nobody wants to be like, yeah, they feel pain and we have to now like make billions investments to change that so it's not painful for them. So that's an actual real thing in science. They are like, they know it's an animal, they know it feels pains because you can see that it does, and you can see that it gets scared of having that pain, and still science is like, yeah, but we can't say for sure. It might just be a body reflex, which is like really just as like with a lot of animals, they're like, yeah, but animals don't really have a personality, they have instincts, and everybody who has had a cat or a dog knows that every cat has a personality and they have thoughts and they feel bad about stuff. Total nonsense. But they're like, but do we know for sure? Because if we know for sure, then it's really hard to like raise cattle and kill them and sell dogs and hold them like playthings. But if they don't have a personality and they don't, like, it's just instinct, it's basically a meat machine. So who cares at that point, you know? So like, it's really strange. There's some really strange things going on in these kind of situations. Not that I'm into any kind of conspiracy, by the way. This is actual like scientific talk about, yeah, if animals have feelings or if fish feel pain. All right, what else do we have here? Anime localizers are doing. Oh, anime localizers. Okay, that's interesting. Right. I mean, anime is a little bit dumbed down, so it's not like as deep as Shakespeare, so there's probably less of a problem for localization. And then, of course, you have to like localize the local humor and stuff like that so people get it, what it's meant. You know, like, for example, if they make a joke about a politician and it's a Japanese politician you've never heard of, they need to replace that with, I don't know, Bush or Trump or whatever. Get a lot of hate? Who gets a lot of hate? I'm not quite sure. Can I use SD 1.5 and SDXL models? Yeah, why wouldn't you be able to use them? Regarding jokes being funny or not, remember this Satesh guards nose strips. No, I don't remember that. Is that from Stargate, or is it like an old Egyptian joke or something? I don't know. The YouTube algorithm is weird sometimes. Yeah, the YouTube loves to suggest to you videos you have already seen for some reason. That's strange. Absolutely. I would try to might be an issue for Forge or Flux. Some manga anime translators hate the source material and think they know better. Yeah, that's true. Oh man, there's so many like bad translations in anime. And the funny thing is, like, sometimes the subtitles say something completely different than the voice translation, which is like, what? How is it even possible? How would you not be able to agree on the subtitles that they actually fit what they say? It's really strange. Cultural imperialism, kind of, right? To start with AI, depends on what you want to do. I don't know what you want to do with AI. Trying to avoid destruction doesn't necessarily imply pain. We experience it. No, it doesn't really imply that you avoid destruction, but I mean, we are physically and genetically not that different from these animals. You know, I mean, even like if you know that our DNA is pretty close to the DNA of a tomato, I'm pretty sure that the DNA between a fish and a human is not as different. And the DNA between a human and a dog is not that different, and we can absolutely not tell what is going on. I think we can agree that like dogs feel pain and cats feel pain and cattle feel pain and stuff like that, so we know they feel pain. So why would a fish be physiologically so different that they have a completely different system that has no pain? And then also, why wouldn't they have pain? Because that's a good warning system, right? There are life forms who don't have pain in that sense, but usually they are also not these kind of life forms that are as complex, and because of their complexity require pain. So I don't buy the story of we don't know if fish feel pain or not, because especially because aren't we made from fish? Didn't like we go from the sea to the land, so we have fish DNA basically in us to a certain extent, or at least aquatic life, not really fish, but you know what I mean? Are politicians conscious? That's a good question. I don't know. I think a lot of them are not moral, but yeah, conscience, that's a good question. The entire galaxy would be converted to miserable chickens in cages so that a handful of sociopathic primates can have fancier boats and horses. I have no idea what that sentence means. But I know for myself that even if I know that animals feel pain, I still love my chicken nuggets. I'm sorry about that. That's just how it is. And the bacon and the what else? I don't know. You know? So yeah. Here's part of the joke. Tilak. Oh, in Stargate. Oh yeah, I know what you mean, where he tells a joke and everybody is like, huh? What was going on there? You know? Yeah, totally. Yeah. The same impact as Shakespeare. What actually happened to your hair? My hair was always like that. What do you mean? Or do you mean this hair? I have to color it again. I will do that tomorrow. But I didn't have like hair. I think I don't. Did I ever have hair when I made YouTube? Let me check this real quick. Did I have hair in my older videos? Maybe. That's a good question. Let me check this real quick. Videos, oldest. There's some music. Man, this is long ago. Oh, and there's my, oh my God. I didn't even have a webcam at the beginning. 1 second. No. Oh, you have to see this. Is there like a big picture of me? I don't know. You have to see this. Look at that. Ah, so cool. 1 second. This down here. Can I zoom into that? No, I can't. 1 second. Let me make a screenshot of that. Did it make a screenshot or not? 1 second, I have to look real quick. Ah, yeah. There we go. Look at that. That is so cool. I even have still the color. Sorry. I still have the color. So that was me when I had 10,000 followers. And when I had 10,000 followers, my idea was that I color my beard in the YouTube red. That was the idea. And basically, when I went out on the street, people loved it. I got so much like people talking to me and saying, "Hey, that's a cool color. That's really nice." I even still have the color, so maybe I should try to do that again because that was a lot of fun. Oh, wait a second, my camera changed. What the hell? One moment. Okay, it's back. It's back to normal. Okay. Anyways, that was me a couple of years ago. How long ago was that, by the way? Whoops. I made pretty cool videos back then. 5 years ago. Holy crap. What is my oldest video? Like the oldest actual YouTuber video. This one. Design Basics. 6 years ago. So I have been a YouTuber for 6 years, basically. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. I thought it was longer, to be honest. Yeah, but I did a lot of videos about photo editing and these kind of design topics. That was pretty nice. I should do so this kind of like image bashing and creative filters and whatnot more again. Well, that was pretty cool. Not too many views, though. I mean, 38,000, not too bad. 31,000? But that's over time. Like this one has only like 2,000. So back in the day, when a video had like 3,000 views, that was pretty good. 6,000 was amazing back in the day when I got that. Yeah. Anyways, there's a lot of videos. Okay. Let me switch back here. What's the time? Oh, 2 hours and 30 minutes. Okay. We should end the stream soon. A book on AGI that was once not a dystopia. I found many of her ideas quite probable and interesting. What is that book? Pantopia by Theresa Henning. I will check that out. It's not dystopian. Yeah, I mean there's several stories, several like also sci-fi stories that are not dystopian about AI. It can be a good thing if we do it right, and I'm pretty sure we will do it right because we always make first pretty big mistakes and then we get scared and then we do the right thing. That's often kind of the way it works. And people get angry before and then afterwards they're happy to have it. So yeah, most of the time it's like that. Much bigger. Yeah, I had a much bigger beard in the past, like really long beard. But nobody liked that, especially the women. They were like, I always thought it's cool. I thought it looks nice. But at the same time, if I look at the images now, I look like I was 80 years old. And like every date was like, no, cut that off. It's not good. It's too much. And so, yeah, short beard. And I think most people just like the aesthetic more. Hackerman. Hackerman. Yeah, Hackerman. Where do I have that? I have to look for the hair of Hackerman. Don't even know where I put that. That was very vibrant, the red. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I love the photo bashing to build generations. So much more control. Yeah, I want to do that next time when I stream. I want to do the Krita thing again, where I do some drawing and some photo bashing. I think it's going to be good. Yeah, she's from Munich. Really? Oh, her first sci-fi book was also incredible debut called Die Optimierer. Okay, interesting. We'll check that out. Okay, anyways, pretty long stream, pretty sore throat. Time to say goodbye. I think next week I will also stream on Wednesday unless there's something gets in the way. So I might pick up to stream twice a week. Okay, but I was really nice to have you this week, and I hope you enjoyed the review of the daily challenges. Join my Discord, and also thank you for your submissions, and thank you for all the chat messages and the interesting talk. And I need to line up the music. Okay, thank you very much, and have a good night or a good day. See you soon. Bye.